Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Thursday and starting your day with us. Today is December 3rd. I'm Jennifer Abreu.
And I'm Joe Morano. A lot to get to here this morning. Weather, the main thing if you have to get out on the road early today, right?
Yes, I was a little bit concerned, but for our commute earlier this morning, it was just a little rain for me. But Nyjah was in about maybe an hour later and she said she saw some flurries, TJ. Is that what we're seeing right now?
Yeah, and I peeked my head outside our station doors here just a little bit ago before daybreak began. And yeah, it was actually coming down. So the flakes were pretty big, kind of coagulating. It looked like cornflakes, briefly out there.
What a reference.
Right? You just kind of get that image in your head.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
I want some.
Nyjah's out on the roads now. We'll check in with her in just a minute, but we want to know, everyone wants to know, where's this going to go? Is it going to stick around all day? What are the details here?
It's not looking too bad. Really, not a huge impact for us, guys, which is great. We do have this upper level low that has been bringing the impacts to our west, Kansas, northern Oklahoma. That's where the snow was a bit more prominent, better accumulations out that way. We've been on the warmer side of this storm system the entirety of the time, haven't gotten those winds back around from the northeast higher up aloft or at the surface, so we have not tapped into that cold air, and we're really not going to. It's cold because of all the cloud cover, and we have been able to see some snow at temperatures that did cool through the overnight. Still have some of that snow falling right now across the Ozarks and across the Color 10 viewing area. A lot of it's falling in the form of rain, but seeing some more snow just to the west of Greene County, going to try and move back into the Springfield metro, but the bulk of it has been falling across Webster, Wright, Texas, down toward Howell County. We've seen some of that snowfall here this morning, really along Highway 60 eastward. That's where we've seen it falling, and a little bit moderate to even heavy at times, seeing that along a Highway 63 there in Houston. So that's where we have that best shot of seeing some minor accumulations. Going to be patchy. You could have some slick spots maybe on less traveled thoroughfares, but many of us not going to see it because temperatures are milder. We're above freezing. If we were in the 20s and 30s, it'd be a different story, but we are above freezing throughout the entirety of the area. Close though in Springfield and Branson, just a couple to a few degrees above it. It does feel worse like the 20s and 30s when you factor in that wind. You're going to need the wipers for sure because we're going to have that on and off rain as we head through the day. I think we'll still see some improving conditions. We'll talk more about, and of course, have the latest on the roads in just a bit. Guys?
All right, thank you very much, TJ. The weather coverage is what's new this morning as well, as we're watching out for the roadways.
And as we told you, our Nyjah McDonald is out on the roads in Springfield driving around right now. She has an update on our morning commute. Nyjah, good morning. Where are you and what is it looking like out there right now?
Yeah, well, good morning, Jen and Joe. We're actually on Kearney Street right now, and the roadways are wet. Seems like it's sprinkling just a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty clear here. As you guys mentioned, this is the first kind of wintry weather that we've experienced this season. So today would be a good idea to just kind of go through the process of what that might look like for your morning commute. So I would recommend giving yourself some extra time as you prepare to head out this morning to go to work and school. When you're on the roadways, make sure that you're mindful of other drivers as well, giving yourself enough space between you and the car ahead of you. This is also a good opportunity to make sure that you have that winter kit in your car should you experience any type of breakdown or you need to scrape those windshields in the morning. So today I would say it's just a good opportunity to just use this as a kind of pre-day for our wintry weather season. Again, just wet roads this morning. Should be an easy commute as you head to work and school. We'll check in with you guys in about 30 minutes. We're reporting live in Springfield. Nyjah McDonald, Ozarks First.
All right, Nyjah, some good tips there. Thank you. We'll check in with her in a little bit. Moving on now to some more news from around the region. A house east of Springfield was engulfed in flames yesterday. No reports of injuries, though. The call for this fire came in at about 3:45 in the afternoon. Logan Rogersville is running command, but Stratford, Springfield, Battlefield, and Ebenezer were all there to help out. In the time that our crews were out there, there were about 20 fire trucks to bring in water. Stratford Fire said they are not sure the cause of this fire yet.
Moving on to some political coverage. Currently, there are around 30 states in the country where you can go to prison for up to 15 years if you knowingly transmit HIV to another person. person. Missouri is one of those states, and lawmakers and activists are actually trying to amend this 40-year-old bill, which was created in the 80s when there were very few treatments or preventions for HIV to keep up with current science and medical advancements. We spoke with a man who has been convicted and went to jail because a person in his past relationship. He said he didn't fully disclose his HIV status, even though he did mention it and was taking proper medical precaution to make sure he didn't transmit it to anyone. He's been living with HIV since he was 24. That relationship eventually ended, and the person felt it was necessary to press charges against him for not disclosing that HIV status. He was convicted in 2009 and spent 6 months in a Louisiana prison. The current Missouri HIV criminalization bill has the same language as the one that person had encountered in Louisiana. Right now, the bill states anyone who knowingly transmits to another person can be charged with criminal offenses, even if they are taking precautions to prevent it.
A person's living with HIV, their status is sort of being used as a way of sort of holding something over their head in a way of sort of twisting that person's arm to, to bend to whatever. So it doesn't serve us living with HIV to be subjected to these criminal laws, which further stigmatizes us and demonizes us. So this is very dehumanizing experience.
This new Missouri bill will apparently amend the language to include all comparable diseases, not just HIV, adjust criminal penalties as well, and reflect the current science and medical abilities to prevent transmission. We've got more information about that on our website for you.
5 Springfield City Council seats will be on the ballot in April, and one incumbent says she will not run again. Phyllis Ferguson said in a Facebook post that she will not seek re-election, and she is sorry more hasn't been done to deal with nuisance properties and dangerous buildings in Zone 1, the area she has served for more than 5 years. In addition to Ferguson's Zone 1 seat, these seats are also up for re-election in April. Zone 4, currently served by Matt Simpson. General Seat A, currently held by Jan Fisk. General Seat B, held by Craig Hosmer. And the mayor's seat, held by Ken McClure right now. Those interested in running have to submit petitions to the city clerk between December 7th and January 19th of 2021. In our coronavirus coverage this morning, state officials say hospitals in Missouri are running out of room to treat patients. Governor Parson says the state is preparing for a potential surge in hospitalizations this winter. Parson says Missouri has already done everything they can at the state level to help with staffing challenges. So now the state is partnering with a national healthcare company called Vizient, and they will bring up to 760 additional healthcare workers to Missouri, such as nurses and respiratory therapists, and they will help hospitals across the state.
When fully deployed, this will add nearly 600 total beds to our statewide bed capacity, including some critical care beds.
The state's new partnership with Vizient will allow rapid deployment of staff to support additional hospital capacity in all regions of the state.
Parson says this partnership will go through February, but could go longer if needed. It will be paid for by the state through CARES Act funding until the end of the year. Governor Parson also waived regulations allowing nurses with licenses from outside of Missouri to work here in the state.
Snow and rain has been falling across the Ozarks to kickstart our Thursday morning. Our Daybreak Live Drive showing some of that wet roadway action out there. The good news is we're not seeing a lot of places inundated with snow, but the possibility of some slick spots is still on the table, especially when we get through the morning commute. We'll have the latest on that and when we start to see that sunshine return coming up in just a few minutes.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Jennifer Abreu, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Tj Springer. This is Color 10 News Daybreak. And now weather with meteorologist Tj Springer, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
It has been kind of a wintry start to our Friday Eve morning here across the Ozarks as the storm system continues to work off to the east-northeast. Notice to our west, high pressure is going to eventually take over, but we have to get through the remainder of our day first. And I know it's just beginning for us, but we do have rain falling throughout Arkansas down into Louisiana, eventually going to move into Mississippi and Tennessee, Kentucky. We have been seeing some snow falling for some of us here in the Color 10 viewing area, though. Not seeing it in Branson. A live look over 76 Country Boulevard eastward toward the landing. No concerns aside from the wet roadways, but we have that low cloud cover in play, and we have seen some snow even here in Springfield just before daybreak began. Taking a peek outside your door, 35 degrees. This is a live view from our tower cam looking south and westward just outside our studios. Satellite and radar showing all that rainfall kind of streaming up from the south. Still seeing some snow, though, across parts of the area along the I-44 corridor, along Highway 62. Let's take a closer look at that. Really now well east of Springfield. We had some of that throughout Webster and Wright County, now through parts of Texas County, down into Howell County. We are seeing some of that snow. Still seeing some close to Mountain Grove, but notice we do have some just to the north and east of Monette that could move back into Greene County here in the metro. So we could see a little more snow trying to work on in, but really going to be kind of a gray, raw, gloomy day out there. The good news is visibility not terribly reduced, but we could have some of that low cloud cover, patchy fog, and even tonight as conditions do begin to clear, we'll have some of that moisture in the ground from the rain, so that could be a fuel source for some fog early tomorrow, which could be freezing on contact. So we'll be watching that potential too. Temperature-wise, we're not at freezing. That is some good news. If we were at freezing, it'd be a different story out there this morning. I think we'd be seeing a little more snow and also some slicker conditions. We are above freezing in Branson, 34, 37 in Camdenton, Clinton just about 40. We have 39 in West Plains as well, 36 on the docket here in Mountain Home. So what are we expecting throughout the remainder of our day? The possibility of, yes, still some of that rain and snow mixture out there. The best bet for accumulation, albeit minor, going to be on elevated surfaces like rooftops, decks, grassy surfaces, and of course bridges and overpasses actually on your commute. So watch out there, and then just some lingering drizzle, a few light showers on tap later on this afternoon. In the gray, that's really our best bet for seeing some patchy, slick roadways, some patchy, slick spots, some slushy accumulation. Really not expecting a lot, maybe a coating to maybe a few tenths to a half of an inch, possibly if that snow does hang on a bit longer. Seeing that in places like Mountain Grove and Ava, really between 2/10 up to just over a half of an inch. Not expecting really much of any accumulation, but the possibility still on the table throughout the rest of our Friday Eve. By 3 o'clock, we are seeing some showers still on Futurecast, likely drizzle, just some light shower activity out there, but we start to clear from west to east through the overnight, and temperatures will cool. We'll be back toward freezing tomorrow, and yes, with that possibility of some fog, it may be freezing on contact. Now, as we head through the rest of our Friday, looking a lot brighter, filled with a lot more sunshine with temperatures back into the 40s, so it will be a little bit nicer as we head into the start of our first full weekend of December. So there's some good news for our weekend. 39 degrees today. We're going to have that rain-snow mixture taper to some light showers by later on. Overnight, we're back close to freezing. May have a couple of flurries out there if we can keep some of that moisture in the atmosphere. As we head through the rest of our certified most accurate 7-day forecast, we're seeing a lot more sunshine Saturday, 50 degrees on the dot, 36 on Monday, a little cooler behind a weak clipper system, which does bring some clouds Sunday. I think we'll stay dry, and then we are looking at more sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday, with highs climbing back into the upper 50s by the time we get into hump day, guys.
No, well, I've said this before. This is the most Missouri 7-day out there, right? Just a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. We go back up to almost the 60s.
Riding that roller coaster, back up the hill.
A pleasant Saturday is not too bad, and it's Thursday, so we can start looking forward to that.
Right.
And also, got to look forward to guessing some birthdays. We got one today, so you know what I say. Got to make it count, all right? Ozzy Osbourne celebrating. Of course, you know him. Big-time musician. And then, like, small-time reality star, really got into the reality TV stuff. And the age is tough on this one, guys. I think I'm going to go 73.
Oh, that's what I was going to guess. But good that you guessed it first.
You're welcome,
because you're
Jen.
wrong.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So, gosh, 75.
I'm going to guess, gosh, he's got crazy eyes. I'm going to do 74. Go in the middle.
Look at that. We are all wrong. 72.
Oh my gosh, so close.
Skewed it the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
He's peering into my soul right now. I swear he is, guys.
Take them off. Take them off. Go to the other birthdays. There we go.
And we are saying happy birthday to some of our viewers this morning. Happy birthday to Kate Kaufman. Happy birthday, Andrea Uskategi. And happy birthday, Hunter Burns. If you want us to announce your birthday or anniversary here on Daybreak, send us an email to birthdays@color10.com.
There's no creepy pictures on our social media like that.
Our pictures are nice.
With scary eyes, right?
So much
I don't
more
think
pleasant.
So
Yeah.
give us a follow on Facebook and Twitter.
There you go. Yeah.
Stay with us, everyone.
We should have done creepy pictures.
And now, sports on Color 10 News.
The Kansas City Chiefs return home and return to the AFC West this week as Denver comes to Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are 10-1 solidly in first place in the division. Denver is 4-7 and the Broncos have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Kansas City's won 10 in a row against Denver, including earlier this season, 43-16 at Mile High. The Chiefs have run a number of trick plays this year, and they have fun names like Ferrari Right, Slot Machine Right, and Sunday it was the Black Pearl. Well, it turns out that Patrick Mahomes has had his hand in drawing up some of those trick plays.
Comes from just that quarterback room in general. We do a great job, and when we're watching film, we try to find different ways we can take advantage of certain things that defenses do. We hone it in and make it to where it's a play that we can get Coach Reed to at least think about, and then once it gets into his room, when you have Bieniemy and Coach Kafka, they really make it and detail it up so that we can explain it to the offense and make plays that go out there and have success.
The Willard tournament tipped off last night with a dandy of a game. Greenwood against Camdenton. Aminu Muhammad is Greenwood's 5-star recruit, being recruited by a handful of Power 5 schools. And last night, Aminu was wearing a Blue Jays jersey against the Lakers as Greenwood's side dominant on both ends. Late first, Tommy Pinniger with the steal, the feed to Nicholas Burry for the finish. 14-8 lead. Next possession, another steal. This time it's Victory Naboya to Burry. Back to Naboya. He finished with 15. Second only to Aminu Muhammad. Still in the first period. a steal of his own right out of the air. Then he would go coast to coast and slam it home. He finished with 18 points. Greenwood wins 73-35. The Evangel Crusaders looking for their 5th straight win last night against Central Methodist, and the Eagles would build an early lead. Chandler Bevins with the 3 from the wing. It was 8-2 Central Methodist, but Evangel would chip away. Cade Kaufman with the 3 of his own. This makes it an 11-7 game. Then Kendall Sutton with the pretty move going into the lane, and then the scoop shot, and it was a 2-point game. Later, Chris Stocks would heat up, the senior, with the 15-footer here. This would tie things up at 15, and then the Crusaders moving the ball inside, outside, then back into Stocks again. We're tied up at 17. Evangel gets its 5th straight win, 79-65. Kaufman led the Crusaders with 22 points. In the SEC last night, Mizzou Tigers facing number 21 Oregon. Tigers getting 22 points from Xavier Pinson, upset the Ducks 83-75. Arkansas beats UT Arlington 72-60. Moses Moody had 24 points and 9 boards there. I'm Dan Lucy with your morning sports.
Rain and snow has been falling for our Friday morning thus far, and just into the weather lab, Niangua, half-inch of snow. That was reported in Webster County just a few minutes ago. So some spots that have seen that snow where it did come down heavier, we have seen those minor accumulations. That's what we have been hitting home on this morning in Springfield. For now, we have that low cloud cover. This is a live look over Park Central Square from our camera atop the Holland building. Glancing westward, we're not going to shake this cloud cover. It is going to be with us through the day. Satellite and radar showing the rainfall kind of getting a little piece of clearing here, at least from the moisture that is in southwestern reaches of the color 10 viewing area down toward northwestern Arkansas, but still seeing that snow across parts of the area, including Texas County down toward, Howell County, really atop of West Plains, Houston, out toward Alton, seeing that along 160 there, really eastward along Highway 60s where we did see that snowfall this morning just east of Springfield. But even here outside our studio doors, we did see some snow briefly. Temperatures, if we were colder, if we were closer to freezing, we'd be sitting in kind of a worse scenario, if you will, because we'd have likely more slick spots and also just a rougher commute. For now, we're sitting close, but not at freezing. So watch out for maybe some rain and snow this morning. If you are heading into school at the bus stop, 39 degrees for the ride on home. Just a gray day, not going to see any sunshine. Going to have to deal with that low cloud cover. Both commutes going to be impacted. The morning, I think, a little bit worse than the evening. We may see some lingering sprinkles, maybe a flurry as we head toward the latter half of the commute, but really going to be starting to clear on out as we head through the remainder of the overnight and really into our Friday. But with that clearing, we could see a bit of patchy fog, and yes, it could be freezing on contact. The good news is we are looking a little quieter for the weekend, and we'll take a better look at that, Jen, coming up in just a little while.
All right, TJ, thank you. 6:24 right now, and up next for you here on Daybreak, the White House released new recommendations for restaurants, including limiting capacity even more. After the break, we check in with a restaurant in Arkansas where the governor has said he doesn't want to limit capacity anymore. That story is up next. Welcome back to Daybreak 627 on this Thursday. The White House released a COVID task force report giving a summary of how Arkansas is doing and recommendations on changes the state should make. One of those includes restaurants limiting their indoor capacity even more, something Governor Asa Hutchinson has been adamant about not doing. Haley Brooks spoke with the owner of Doe's Eat Place in Little Rock to get their take on this new recommendation.
In this dining room, there's 17 tables, but they're only seating 6 of them. I spoke to the owner who says it's not the percentage that counts, it's how far apart you can keep people.
I feel like the mask police.
Some restaurants in Little Rock, like Doe's Eat Place, are just doing what they can to get by. So when the White House released a report recommending restaurants in Arkansas limit indoor dining again, owner Catherine Eldridge says it's not the percentage of the capacity that matters.
I think what matters is if the restaurants are spacing their tables and, keeping that distance between everyone so they're safe.
Eldridge says Doe's Eat Place never opened up to more than 60% capacity. They simply couldn't make it work with the spacing and following the guidelines. The White House report recommends we limit indoor dining to 25%, something Governor Asa Hutchinson says he won't do. Governor Hutchinson says if we followed that recommendation, hundreds of restaurants across Arkansas would have to close their doors. Eldridge says Doe's Eat Place would fall on that list.
We're barely surviving now. And if we're not down to just 25%, then, there's no reason for us to stay open. We just can't do it.
Hutchinson says all the limitations and guidelines we already have in place put a strain on restaurants, so we won't be adding another layer with cutting capacity. Reporting in Little Rock, I'm Haley Brooks. Back to you.
It's an issue seen in Little Rock and also many other places around the country with this as this pandemic continues. Still ahead for you, the top 3 things you need to know if you're just waking up. We'll check back in with Nija, who's out and about right now, too. Stay with us.
And now weather with meteorologist Tj Springer, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
This just into the weather lab. We have gotten one report in terms of snow here across the Color 10 viewing area in Niangua, and we were watching that snow in parts of Webster County. Half of an inch has been reported, so there could be some patchy slick spots across Webster County, so be aware that's what we are tracking here this morning. There's the reason why this big old L, this upper level low that has been spinning across the region, still producing rainfall through southern Missouri, down into Arkansas, Louisiana, eventually going to work eastward into Kentucky, Tennessee, out toward Alabama. We're going to see all of that, Mississippi and Alabama for that matter, all this going to head eastward. In Springfield, we're seeing that low cloud cover. It's going to hang around today, not going to see any sunshine, but we do begin to clear out later on. For now, we are focusing on the snow that is still falling, really eastward out of the Springfield metro along Highway 60. That's what we have been seeing, still seeing some of that snow falling in places like Houston, out toward Mountain View, really across Texas and Howell County. Alton seeing a nice little band there, a little burst along Highway 160. So be careful, travel carefully if you do have to be on out early on. Temperatures are not at freezing. That's one piece of good news this morning, because if they were at or below, I think our commute could have been a bit worse. We're in the 30s. We'll talk more about what we are seeing and what we're expected to see throughout the remainder of our day coming up in just a little while.
Pretty dark out there right now, so we're talking about what it's like out on those roads. Nyjah McDonald is checking in with that for us. She's been out on the roads all morning long. Nyjah, where are you now? What have you seen so far?
Yeah, Joe, good morning. We are on Chestnut Expressway right now, and the roads are wet. It doesn't seem like it's raining right now, though. I feel like today the big thing is preparedness. So even if, you step outside today and you don't see any snowfall, it's a good idea to just make sure that you're prepared for this wintry mixed conditions that can pretty much come at any time now that we're at the later part of the year. That means to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time as you head to work and school in the morning. When you are on the roadways, make sure that you're giving yourself enough space between you and the car in front of you. It's also not a bad idea to use today as an opportunity to make sure that you have a winter weather kit in your car with things like an ice scraper, water bottles, maybe a few snack items, just in case you do become stranded on the roadways because of wintry weather. Also, if you visit our website at ozarksfirst.com, you can download a link to the MoDOT Travelers Map, and that will be handy for you as we continue throughout the year. Reporting live in Springfield, Nyjah McDonald, Ozarks First.
We reported earlier this week the state of Missouri is expecting about 50,000 doses of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine in a couple of weeks. Healthcare workers and long-term care residents will get this vaccine first. The second stage is for teachers, daycare operators, and first responders. They're in line to get it from February through April. Then the rest of the population starting around April or May. We're still on that schedule right now. Making news nationally, the CDC is projecting around 200,000 more Americans may die from the coronavirus in just the next 2 months. Beyond logistical challenges of getting this vaccine out quickly, health officials also need to convince some people that the vaccine is safe. Federal officials say it won't be widely available anyway until the late spring, Jen.
All right, Joe, thanks. And checking in on some more news from around the nation. The largest wildfire in Colorado history is now 100% contained. The Cameron Peak fire has burned more than 208,000 acres. It started on August 13th in the wilderness west of Fort Collins and burned for 112 days. Crews will now focus on rehabilitating that area. And Congress is inching closer to a compromise on a coronavirus stimulus package that could put money in the hands of people who need it most. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is hoping to strike a deal before the Christmas holiday. Deborah Alfarone has the details from Washington.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are embracing a $900+ billion bipartisan coronavirus package with more funding for small businesses, state and local governments, and unemployment benefits. Support for the plan is a massive concession from Pelosi, who is holding out for a bill twice that size.
This isn't a political game. This impacts on people's real lives and families. It impacts on all of you, all of us. And we need to get help out the door as soon as we can.
But Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is pushing his own much smaller plan. It's similar to legislation he proposed earlier this year, which was a targeted $500 billion bill focused on small businesses, schools, and liability protections. It would extend critical unemployment programs by just 1 month.
The president will sign the McConnell proposal that he put forward yesterday, and we look forward to making progress on that.
While Congress works here, many are not working. Millions of Americans are set to lose their unemployment benefits in weeks, and millions are facing eviction.
President-elect Biden says no matter what happens, once he takes office January 20th, he'll pursue a sweeping stimulus package.
Any package passed in this so-called lame duck session be now on January 21st, at best, is only going to be a down payment on what's going to happen early next year.
Lawmakers are hoping to pass a stimulus bill before the Senate adjourns for its holiday recess on December 18th. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
And a new study out of the University of Southern California projects without an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus, the U.S. economy could take a hit of nearly $5 trillion over 2 years. And now let's take a look at how the markets look. The Nikkei closed up 8 points. The Dow also gaining 59 points, and the Nasdaq also down 5 points. We will be right back with more right here on Daybreak.
And now weather with meteorologist Tj Springer, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Our first week of December has not been that wintry, but that has changed as we have progressed through the last 12 hours, and we do have one snowfall reading or report to talk about. Niangua, this just into the weather lab about 15 minutes ago, 1/2 inch in Webster County. We have been tracking that heavier burst that was falling in parts of right Webster County out toward now Texas and Howell counties, and I'll take a look. I'll show you that here. We'll take a look in just a moment. There's the low. That's the reason why we've been seeing all this precipitation. Out toward Kansas westward, that's where the bulk of the wintry weather has been, because we've been on the northwestern, or I should say they've been on the northwest side of that system, rather. We've been on the warmer side of it. That's why we've had mainly rain, but we still have seen some snow. High pressure is going to take over eventually. We have to get through the rest of our Friday Eve first. In Branson, a live look over 76 Country Boulevard. We are glancing eastward toward Branson Landing and over historic downtown. We have the wet roadway, kind of some low cloud cover hanging around the metro here in Springfield. Taking a peek outside your door, 35, the dew point at 34, the humidity pretty much at 100%. We're just 4% shy. We're currently staying in the middle 90s. Satellite and radar showing still some rain showers across parts of the Color 10 viewing area and some snow for that matter. We are watching a little piece trying to circulate back up into Greene County around this low, so we'll watch that. We may see a few more snowflakes before the morning is all said and done here in Springfield, but I wanted to take you to where the snow has been a little more prominent here this morning, eastward out of Springfield along Highway 60, where we have seen that places like Mountain Grove, now out toward Eminence, seeing some of that snow just to the north of West Plains, really along Highway 60, along Highway 63, you can see some of that white and some deeper shades of blue too. That's the indication of some more moderate to possibly briefly heavy snow. Where it's falling, I'm sure the visibility is a little bit reduced, but at least on our map here, it's not looking all that bad. By tomorrow morning, with all the moisture now on the ground in that clearing sky, we could see some patchy freezing fog. That's going to be our headline for tomorrow, just giving you a little heads up. The good news about this morning's commute, though, is that temperatures have been above freezing. If we were in the upper 20s, near 30, I think it'd be a different story. So we're actually going to be, I think, okay this morning, aside from some of those patchy slick spots like on the side roads, back streets, and maybe some of those elevated surfaces like bridges and overpasses. Still could see some minor accumulations before it is all said and done. And then by later on this afternoon, as temperatures rise back above freezing, we're looking at some patchy drizzle. And the gray shaded area is really east of Greene County. That's where we do have the best bet at seeing some of that slushy accumulation like we did see in Niangua, around 1/2 inch throughout the next few hours. And we'll see that here on our map. Forecasted snow anywhere from maybe 2/10 up to just over 1/2 inch in places like Mountain Grove, West Plains, maybe a dusting. We'll keep tabs on that too. And of course, you can send us those reports. We'd love to see what you are seeing, pictures, outside, videos even outside your door. We really would love that. Futurecast shows some showers through 3 o'clock this afternoon. Temperatures, I think, struggling to get to 40. I don't even think we'll do 40 here in Springfield. I think we'll be just shy of that. Clearing tonight some. Clouds still hang around throughout much of the viewing area, though. And we'll wake up to those tomorrow. Some of that low cloud cover, patchy fog, then really nicer by the afternoon with highs back into the middle 40s. We do cool down because of the clear sky as we head into our Saturday. So it will be a little bit more pleasant, but a colder start, at least to our morning, to our weekend. Springfield today, we're back into the upper 30s, watching out for that rain and snow this morning, tapering to some light showers by the afternoon. Our certified most accurate 70 forecast shows the brighter sky by the weekend, 50 degrees. But there's that colder start, 28. We're back into the 40s Sunday, but we will see more cloud cover as a weak clipper skirts us on by. And behind that will be chilly Monday, 36. The good news is, if you want that warmth back, we warm up toward 50 Tuesday. And then, look at this, guys, near 60 by the middle of next week.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Music to my ears. You should sing that. It will be sunny and 60.
We're dancing, we're jamming out here on Daybreak.
Let's dive into some headlines here for you guys. Do you shop at Kmart at all?
My kitchen table's from Kmart.
Oh,
it is actually.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a Kmart in a long time.
Well, if Kmart was for sale, would you buy it? The literal K from Kmart?
The literal K, not a Kmart. Okay.
Oh, the K.
No, the literal K from Kmart. Take a look at this. This is a Kmart store in Minneapolis. See that massive K right there? After it closed down, that went up for auction. Just the K, not the Mart part. That's actually a separate piece. I didn't know this. But it actually sold online to a man in Minnesota for $2,300, guys.
Wow.
So he bought the massive K. Look at that thing. That's his now. This thing is 9 feet tall, 11.5 feet wide, and weighs 900 pounds of metal.
What is the man's name? Do you know his name?
There's no K in his name.
No K in his name. Maybe his daughter.
Peter
or a
Weber, I
family
believe,
member
is his name, or
something.
something.
Or maybe he's just a Kmart fan. But that would be cool if your name
To
starts
have
with
the
a
K?
to have a massive
$2,300? Really? You think?
I mean,
this is
that's
what
a
he's
lot.
going to do. He's going to decorate it. He's going to cover it in blue lights.
Okay.
Because of the blue light specials that they used to run. Remember that? And then they also, he's going to stand it up in his yard. So it's going to be covered in blue lights, stand up in his yard for the Christmas decorations. He's going to let people come and take pics with it and everything else.
I like
And then
it.
the other 11 months out of the year, it'll be hanging in storage.
Yeah, you share it with people, right? For everybody else to come and take pictures with it. I like that.
I remember it.
It's
I
crazy.
think we'd go as kids a lot. That's what was close, and they always had great deals. So
Yeah. There you go. Celebrate Kmart.
Reminiscent,
with
right?
with the big K. All right. This next headline, we talked about deer hunting season a couple of weeks ago. It's over now, but a nursing home celebrated deer hunting season. And if we have the video to show, it's super cute. So here they are. They have Christmas trees there. They're sitting in their wheelchairs. And the nurses and staff are dressed up as deer.
Oh my
and
God.
they have these little guns. I mean, you know, they're toy guns, obviously, and they're shooting at the deer. They're deer hunting. I thought this was so sweet. This video has already had thousands and thousands of shares, more than 11 million views on Facebook. So it's going viral. They have several other little videos like this too, short videos of the residents there for deer hunting season.
I think it's genius.
That makes me so
and great use of activity. You got to stay busy, especially on lockdowns, and then it's bad weather and everything else. So you got to be able to do that. So that's very innovative.
It is, and spreading joy here on this holiday season.
I feel like it had to be the highlight of their days. I'd enjoy that. Like, I don't know what kind of dark, whatever they're firing, I'm sure it was a blast.
The highlight of our days, right, for everybody watching on Facebook.
Sure.
Very nice. All right, everyone, stay with us. When we come back here, Daybreak in 10 is up next. Welcome back, everyone. Time for Daybreak in 10 on Color 10.
We are on the air with you without commercials for the next 10 minutes, beginning right now. And first, let's head on over to meteorologist Tj Springer with our forecast first. Good morning, TJ.
Happy Friday Eve, guys. A wintry run thus far for us, at least for most of the Color 10 viewing area, so you really need to watch out this morning. Could have some patchy slick spots. Many of us waking up to wet roadways like in Springfield, but we did see some snow outside our station just a little bit ago, just before daybreak began. And we still have some out there really traveling eastward along Highway 60 into places like Texas County, down toward Howell County, Shannon County, Oregon County, too, northwest of Alton. Seeing some of that snow, so we still could see some more reports of minor accumulations before it's all said and done, like we did see in Niangua and Webster County. We saw that in Wright and Webster counties just east of us here in the metro. Half of an inch was reported, so that could lead to some patchy slick spots, some maybe bridges and overpasses that still could be on the slicker side of things. The good news is temperatures are not at freezing. We're all above here, and I think if it was the other way around, upper 20s to near freezing, we would have had a much worse morning commute. It's still chilly out there, so you want to bundle up if you're heading out and walking your furry friends in our wagging and walking forecast, showcasing Echo. Say hello to him. Looks like he's enjoying some time outdoors. Temperatures going to be only in the upper 30s, really struggling from this morning, and we'll have that spotty shower chance really all the way through the day before we can start and clear on out. But the good news is, another piece of good news for you this morning, as we get closer to the weekend, we are looking quieter. Could wake up to some patchy morning fog tomorrow, but I'll show you the rest of that 7-day forecast and how good the weekend looks, guys, in just a little bit.
Got to continue our weather coverage for you now as we keep a focus on the roads for this morning as people start to get moving.
Caller 10's Nigel McDonald is out on the roads in Springfield right now. Let's check in with her to see what it's looking like out there. Nigel, good morning. Where are you and what are you seeing?
Yeah, Joe and Jen, well, good morning. We are actually on Chestnut Expressway. We're getting ready to turn onto Glenstone Avenue. And right now, it's not raining at all. The roadways are wet, though, so that's definitely something to keep in mind this morning. As I've been mentioning throughout the show, I feel like today is a good opportunity to just make sure that you're weather aware and you're prepared for the event that we do have wintry mixed conditions. So that would entail doing things like making sure that you're giving yourself enough time to get to work and school in the mornings. Make sure you visit our website at ozarksfirst.com to download the Mo Travelers map. That will definitely be handy for you when we do experience wintry mixed conditions. And then also make sure you have a winter kit in your car with things like an ice scraper, water bottles, and maybe some snack items just in case you end up getting stuck on the roadways during this winter season. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
Nigel, thank you. And a house east of Springfield was engulfed in flames yesterday, but thankfully no reports of injuries here in this fire. The call came in at about 3:45 in the afternoon. Logan Rogersville is running command in this area, but Stratford, Springfield, Battlefield, and Ebenezer were all there as well to help out. In the time that our crews were out there were about 20 fire trucks to bring in water. Stratford Fire said they're not sure the cause of this fire just yet.
Take a look at what's new this morning around America. There's a brush fire east of San Diego, California, going 25 acres long. There's no word on how many buildings of homes are damaged, but no injuries have been reported. Fire crews say the Willow fire is 5% contained as of now, but there are still concerns about the winds fanning those flames some more.
More new video overnight. This is the 1,100-acre bonfire burning further north in Orange County, California. This brush fire is also being driven by winds. People who live in the area have left their homes. So far, no injuries have been reported.
Got some interesting video caught on camera about as a man narrowly escapes disaster from a 5.0 earthquake in Turkey. Keep a look at your man on your left there. He gets up, moves just seconds before these beams come crashing down in the room there. There have been no reports of deaths. It's worth noting, though, Turkey is one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world.
Alexa company says it has seen a big uptick in sales of devices with UVC rays for disinfecting air and surfaces. Sarin Energy Solutions specializes in retrofitting businesses with LED lighting. But this year, the company has seen its sales shift to affordable products for consumers. They sell everything from wands to lamps to stations that both charge and disinfect phones with UVC light.
We were doing a lot of business-to-business sales. We didn't really focus on the end user, the average homeowner, but we've had so much interest in that. We thought, let's make ourselves more available.
It's important to remember certain intensities of UV rays can be harmful, especially to your eyes. So look for products with built-in safety measures.
Alaska authorities say several people are missing and 4 homes have been destroyed after multiple mudslides in the area there. About 9 feet of mud and trees cover the area in southeast Alaska. That's about 100 miles around north of Juneau. Crews had to suspend search and rescue efforts last night as well because of rain and the unstable ground there.
The Better Business Bureau is warning people to watch out when looking for a pet online. There's been an increase in pet fraud scams since the pandemic and more people experiencing loneliness turned online to find a pet. Consumers have already reported 337 complaints to the BBB about puppy scams in November compared to just 77 last November. The average money lost for a person is around $750. The BBB says to watch for red flags because if you're shopping for a pet online, you likely encounter a scam listing or website.
Just another reminder to cheer on your local healthcare workers. We're trying to do that at Color 10, and we can use your help by doing so. Make sure to pick out a holiday greeting card the next time you're out shopping, and then mail it to us. Write a note, mail it to us at 2650 East Division Street. That's 65803, the zip code that you'll need there. And so we'll deliver it to hospital workers. So make sure to get your card in the mail to us here at the station by December 11th.
All right, this morning, let's take a look at what is trending. Dolly Parton will be on TV Saturday all day long. I think this will be on, oh my gosh, the Country Music Channel. Yes,
okay.
So you can watch her then.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but TJ, I wanted to check in with you about this rain. Are we going to see this all day today?
Yeah, I think the wintry weather will start to end as temperatures warm a little bit more through the afternoon, but a lot brighter Saturday. Highs back in the low 50s, guys.
All right, look at that sun coming back.
Yes.
Thank you, TJ. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak. We'll see you again at midday.